So today I'm going to show you how to prick out seedlings. We have squashes, pumpkins and courgettes that need pricking out. So essentially what we're doing is taking each individual seedling that currently are all in one pot and putting them into their own individual pot to grow them on. And there's a couple of ways you can do this. So the first way is to fill your 1 litre pot with compost. And this way is better for smaller seedlings. So fill right to the top, knock off any extra. Use another pot of the same size or the tamper to compress, get rid of any air pockets, and then you can use your dibber to make a hole. I haven't got one, so I'm using a pencil in the centre of the pot. And then I'm going to use a plant label, but there should be a green tool, a widget, which is a bit like it's a plastic, like a fork shape almost, and that's quite useful to loosen. I'll find one here for smaller seedlings. Don't know if you can see that. So like that one, which is not very big. What we can do is just use it to loosen the soil around the edge. And I suggest when you handle the seedling, try not to pull on the stem, try and hold the leaves, because we don't want to damage the stem. And you just loosen underneath till you pull out your seedling. And then it might be you end up making a slightly bigger hole if you need to. And then what you can do is use your dibber to just help guide the seedling into the pot. And then just firm around the edge. Then you'll write a label. So this is a squash called Sweet Pie. So I have one there already. And that's your seedling potted on. The second way, and it might depend a bit on how big your seedlings are, but the other thing you can do is to tip the pot upside down. So you want to hold so your fingers are in between the seedlings. Squeeze the bottom to loosen, take the pot off, and then just very carefully can almost open it, gently prise apart and lay them on their side, almost like opening like a book. So this can be a slightly better way. If you can see there's some quite big seedlings, so it might be a bit more difficult to loosen the soil from underneath. And then we'll do exactly the same thing. So just fill your pot with compost, but as it's a bit bigger you probably don't want to fill it right up. So what you might find easier to do is, again with this one that's quite big, pick it up by its leaves. You might want to just support underneath, And so for this one I've just put like a tiny bit of soil in the bottom. Put it in the bottom. You can see this is much bigger. Support it and then just fill around. So it depends a little bit how big your seedling is. And you can see in that pot, because I sowed a few, some have grown bigger, some are still quite small. So use my hands. Obviously, once you've tipped them out the pot, you're not going to put them back in, so you'll just gently pull apart the others and do the same sort of thing. Top. There we are. There you go. So those are your 2 seedlings. So depending on the size of yours when you find them, if they're all quite small, you should be all right just to loosen from underneath, pre-fill your pot, then put them in. If they're bigger, you might need to actually empty the whole pot and take each one out, and then pot it on separately. And that's it. Label, water, and watch them grow.